reading about and maybe 10, 8. So read it.
Okay, I will start off with the Balestier um, readings. Located in the central region of Singapore, Balestier refers to the area around Balestier Road that runs between Thomson and Serangoon roads. Balestier was first developed as a sugarcane plantation in the mid-19th century by American Joseph Balestier. Wealthy individuals and families began moving into the area from the late 19th century onwards, turning the area into a residential district known for its shophouses and terrace houses, incorporating various architectural styles. Balestier is also famous for its historical landmarks such as the Sun Yat-sen Nanyang Memorial Hall, the Shaw Film Studio on Jalan Ampas, and a number of religious sites established by early settlers, besides being a hotspot for local food such as chicken rice and bak kut teh. Present-day Balestier is also associated with its ubiquitous lightning house shops. Balestier is named after Joseph Balestier, who arrived in Singapore in 1834 and initially served as a United States consul to the neighboring Rhode Islands. He was officially appointed the first United States consul to Singapore on 4th July 1836, while the appointment was recognized by the East India Company's Court of Directors in London in November 1836. However, he only took up office in June 1937 after the company allowed American ships to trade in Singapore on equal terms. Balestier became a merchant, shipping agent and a sugar planter to supplement his consular income, which was insufficient to support him and his family. He leased 1,000 acres of land to build his family residence and used up 220 acres to grow sugarcane. The land, bounded by Sungai Whampoa, Serangoon, Balestier, and Kim Keat roads, became known as Balestier Plain. Despite his hard work, Balestier was dogged by misfortune. Tigers roamed the area around his plantation and killed two of his workers in 1842. His son Joseph W. R. Balestier died in 1844. Heavy rains destroyed his sugarcane fields in 1847, the same year that his wife of 30 years passed away. Balestier put his plantation up for sale in 1848 and left Singapore for the United States due to ill health. He returned to Singapore in 1849 and 1851 on government matters, and finally resigned from his position as consul in 1852. After Balestier's departure, the authorities acquired his estate and leased part of it to Chinese farmers. Sugarcane continued to be grown on small plots of land, giving birth to the street name Jalan Ampas of Balestier Road. The early settlers in the area also cultivated lime and taro, and set up rattan-based cottage industries along Sungai Whampoa. The late 19th century saw large waves of immigrants arriving in Singapore. Most of the immigrants settled in the town centre, where, where disease became widespread due to poverty, overcrowding and malnutrition. Those who had the means moved to the suburbs. The Europeans, especially the English, who were drawn to life in a country bungalow, began erecting houses along Balestier Road. Some of these residents were unmarried, working men who did not require large residences such as those found in Tanglin. Other affluent townsfolk who settled in Balestier area include the Aljunids, the Sultan of Sulu, and the Sultan of Sayed, whose mansion at the Seven Raja included stables and coach houses. Balestier was gazetted as a conservation area by the Urban Redevelopment Authority on 1 December 2003. The protected buildings, including shophouses in the Singapore Electric style, terrace houses with Art Deco influences, and modernised shop flats, are mainly situated along the main stretch of Balestier Road, between Thomson and Serangoon Roads. Balestier Road has attracted several hotel developments in recent decades. By 2004, there were 6 budget hotels in the area. While businesses welcomed the increased human traffic that the hotels had brought, residents were afraid that the neighborhood would acquire an unsavory reputation. In 2008, a large parcel of land in front of the Sun Yat-sen Nanyang Memorial Hall between Balestier Road and the Ah Hood Road was put up for sale by the URA to be developed into a park and a hotel. An integrated development comprising Zhongshan Mall, a commercial tower and 2 hotels now stands at the site. Loy Kee and Boon Tiong Kee are 2 prominent eateries selling chicken rice along Balestier Road. Loy Kee, established in 1953 by immigrants from Hainan Island, China, sells steamed chicken rice served on rice cooked in chicken broth, together with a garlic chili dip. Boon Tiong Kee started business in 1979 and moved from Chinatown to Balestier Road in 1983. It offers a Cantonese rendition of the dish, where tender poultry is served with a chili dip containing lime. Besides this, there are other chicken rice stalls in the area, such as Hok Nam at Tong Seng Coffee Shop. There are at least 8 eating places on Balestier Road, where one can find bak kut teh, a Hokkien dish of pork rib soup served with rice, pickled vegetables, and fried dough fritters. The most famous among them is Founder Bak Kut Teh, opened by a former pig farmer in 1975. Besides food, Balestier is also known for the numerous lighting shops along both sides of Balestier Road. It started with a few pioneers who were attracted by the neighborhood's low rentals. Their success drew more competitors until Balestier became synonymous with lightning supplies. Balestier lies primarily in the Bishan Toa Payoh Group Representation constituency, except for the northeastern region of the lower section of Balestier Road, between Jalan Ampas and Serangoon Road, which comes under the Whampoa division of the Jalan Besar GRC. It was previously part of the Moulmein Kallang GRC as well as the Whampoa single-member constituency until both constituencies were dissolved ahead of the 2015 general election. Okay.